walang kaso sa isang nagkasalang tao. Dati uso yung death penalty, wala na. Kasi dito sa Pilipinas, parang masyadong malaki yung involvement ng Christianity. So, pinagbawal na yung death penalty dito sa Pilipinas. Pero sa China, ewan ko lang kung legal na yung
Sulat nyo na lang.
No one has the right to take one's life, even though if the one being charged took another one's life. Everyone deserves second chance. And if you find out that they didn't do the crime that they're charged for, then they can get their life back because they're already dead.
Nakasan mo?
Sana meron. Balik.
Saan kayo mabalita?
Kasi mabawasan yung mga kriminal na gawa ng mga imalan sa bansa na.
Tingin mo, tama to ba?
Sa pana mo, tama. Mabawasan na yung mga kriminal. Nandun na tayo eh, kaya lang masyadong dumadami yung mga kriminal. Lalo na yung mga paggawa ng imalan na. Rape sila, mga nagnanakaw. Tapos, pagka na-hold up pa nila yung mga tao, kaya kapatay pa. Siyempre, yung mga pamilya nun, sila hindi nang iisipin sa kanila.
Sige pa. Salamat po.
Salamat po. Death penalty.
Hindi, kasi kung magkaka-death penalty dito sa Pilipinas, sabihin nga natin matatakot yung mga tao dito, pero ganun pa rin kasi kung ipapatupad yun, mas kasi di ba maging agresibo yung mga nangyayari dito ng kriminal. Kung magkaka-death penalty, syempre yung mga kapamilya din ng mga gumagawa ng mga kunyari, ako, gumawa ko ng masama, tapos yung pamilya ko syempre hindi papayag ng ganun sa death penalty. Kasi nga, mahalaga din yung buhay sa akin.
pinatay kang isang tao. So, dapat ang gawin sa nagkasala ay makulong lang. Hindi naman sapat na patayin siya. Kasi kapag ginawa nila yung death penalty sa isang tao nagkasala, parang tumatay na siya.
Sa tingin niyo po ba, sir, tama or hindi ba na magkaroon ng death penalty sa Pilipinas?
Sa tingin ko dapat hindi kasi yun nga, bawal pumatay. Nakasaad din sa Bible na bawal pumatay ng buhay ng isang
Killing as a form of retribution for one's crimes dates back centuries, but was imported to America by British settlers during the colonial era. It officially began early in the 17th century when crimes like stealing vegetables, trading with Indians, or rejecting the idea of one god were considered capital crimes at one point. Hanging was the preferred method of execution. However, more horrific means like burning, beating, and breaking on a wheel were also used, though infrequently. Movements against capital punishment began early and were supported by important figures of the day. In 1777, founding father Thomas Jefferson unsuccessfully tried to amend Virginia laws regarding the death penalty to make only murder and treason capital crimes. However, in 1790, the U.S. Bill of Rights and its Eighth Amendment saw that no cruel or unusual punishment would be inflicted on United States citizens. When the abolition movement gained steam in the early 19th century, states began performing executions in prisons as opposed to publicly, as was once the custom. However, the United States' last public execution was in 1936. In 1846, Michigan became the first state to eliminate the death penalty for all crimes except treason. Other states soon did the same. In the early 1860s, the Civil War derailed abolitionists. But once the war ended, technological advancements eased its use. For example, the electric chair was first used to carry out a death sentence in 1890. This method was considered more humane than hanging and was quickly adopted by New York and a few other states. In the early 20th century, the belief that capital punishment was unjust became more widespread when research suggested criminals were victims of genetics and their environments. Some states then eliminated it entirely, while others restricted its use to a few uncommon crimes. However, this revolution was brief. By 1920, most states had re-established the death penalty due to World War I and the threat of a socialist revolution. 1924 saw the application of the gas chamber as a supposedly more humane option for capital punishment, and this caused a revival in the use of the death penalty as a deterrent. In fact, during Prohibition and the Great Depression of the 1930s, the United States saw its widest use of capital punishment, with an average of almost 170 killed each year. Public opinion shifted against capital punishment again in the 1950s, and in 1966 it dropped to a record low. During that decade, reinterpretations of the Constitution suggested the death penalty was, in fact, cruel and unusual punishment and should be considered unconstitutional. This subject was addressed in the Furman v. Georgia case of 1972. On June 29 that year, the Supreme Court ruled that consistency was necessary when applying the death penalty, and that existing state laws regarding execution were unconstitutional. This effectively put the death penalty on hold in the United States and saw the sentences for all inmates on death row commuted to life in prison. To adhere to the findings of Furman, individual states began rewriting their statutes with regards to capital punishment. The Gregg decision of July 2, 1976, then saw the death penalty reinstated. However, the crimes to which it would be applied had changed. On January 17th the next year, Gary Gilmore became the first execution of the modern era of capital punishment when he was shot by a Utah firing squad. On December 7, 1982, lethal injection was first used as a method of execution, and it eventually became the preferred way of carrying out sentences. Support for capital punishment in the United States peaked at 80% in 1994 and has declined ever since. The debate was renewed in 2011 when a firestorm ignited following the execution of convicted murderer Troy Davis, as many believed he was innocent. In recent years, a number of U.S. states abolished the death penalty altogether. However, because of conflicting belief systems, it will undoubtedly remain a divisive topic.
Isinusulong ni Assistant Minority Leader Tito Soto ang pagbuhay sa Republic Act 7659 o death penalty law sa bansa sa pamamagitan ng lethal injection. Sa Senate Bill 2080 o an act imposing death penalty in the Philippines, nais ni Senador Vicente Soto na i-repeal o ipawalang bisa ang RA 9346 o an act prohibiting the imposition of death penalty in the Philippines.
Ako pro-life eh. I am pro-life of the unborn. I am pro-life of the Filipino family. But I am pro-death for heinous criminals.
Ayon sa senador, nakababahala na ang heinous crimes na nangyayari sa bansa. Dagdag pa ng senador, ang mga brutal na krimen na nangyayari sa bansa ay hudyat upang magpatupad ng ultimate criminal penalty ang pamahalaan sa ilalim ng konstitusyon.
I believe that the majority of the members of the majority of the citizens of the country will be for a reimposition of the death penalty for heinous crimes. The marijuana addict last week who killed and raped a 6-year-old girl, ang palusot eh, high doses sa marijuana. Is that an excuse? That's not an excuse.
Hindi naman kumbinsido dito si Senador Sani Angara.
Well, ilang taon lang yung pag-abolish ng death penalty at naalala natin nung may batas tayo sa death penalty, hindi rin ini-implement ng Supreme Court dahil nakakahanap sila ng yung tinatawag na mitigating circumstance para life imprisonment na lang o reclusion perpetua.